Hi, I'm Amy McGuffin, CEO of Kittitas County Chamber of Commerce, and we are hitting the road to see one of our local chamber members. Thank you for joining the Chamber on the Road. Today, we're here with Pam Wilson at Cashmere Valley Bank, and I appreciate you taking the time today, Pam, for joining us. We really appreciate that.
No problem. I'm glad to be here.
So tell us your background and a little bit about the bank.
I've been in banking. I started almost 30 years ago at a different building. Came up here 19 years ago, and I've kind of done lots of different things in banking, but what I'm doing now is lending and management. So that's kind of where I'm at. The bank itself is a smaller community-owned community bank. We're locally owned and operated. Actually, next month we have our 88th anniversary for the bank, so that's kind of neat.
That's awesome.
The bank really believes in a lot of autonomy, locally operating our branches and making decisions and doing business as we need to do in our communities so we can best help our customers in these communities, because they all vary. So that's really nice, because our customers are really our neighbors, our friends, so being able to serve them the best we can is a great thing as far as a branch manager to be able to do that. So
great. And so you're the branch manager here in Ellensburg, and then there's another location in Clayton.
Right, in Kittitas County, right.
Yep.
We have 11 branches total, from Yakima to Lake Chelan, basically.
Okay. And so it serves both Upper County and Lower County as far as a banking consideration. But going back to you as the branch manager, when COVID came about, what was the first priority for the bank that you felt was the important priority?
Lots of things happen. I mean, the safety of our employees, as far as staying healthy, staying well, but also the safety with, once masks were required, of figuring out how we can really operate, because at Halloween and those kinds of times, we're always asking people to take off their masks. Mm-hmm. So just having the ability to figure out a system that works as far as, getting people in here, getting our customers served, but on the other side of it, really keeping our employees safe, healthy-wise and security-wise. And that's really why we have left the lobby doors locked. And the drive-up has been open. We're an essential business, obviously. We've continued to be open every day. The drive-up was open 8:30 to 6. We've gotten, tried to get information out to all our customers about every other option we have. The night drop, usually the night drop is checked once or twice a day, but now we do it every hour because, there's only 2 lanes of drive-up. So we have 4 teller windows inside. We're used to servicing about 6 people at a time as far as customers, so the drive-up lines do get longer, and we just have tried to get creative. We do some car hopping. We've especially in this hot weather, taken water bottles out to people while they're waiting in line, because sometimes it's just unavoidable. But using the night drop and having people, it's kind of like you go to McDonald's and your food's not ready, they say pull forward, and we'll have people pull forward into the first link, the parking stalls, and bring out receipts, or if they need a printout of a loan transaction, those kinds of things. So things that are quick moving, we try to service them right there in the drive up. Otherwise, we ask them to come inside with those things.
Yeah.
So
I know today when we were coming in, we were met very nicely at the door. So you can make an appointment to come inside with
Yes.
your lenders. I'm assuming probably not so much the tellers, or is the tellers available for appointment too?
actually, everyone.
Everyone.
So safety deposit boxes have been one of the biggest factors. Loans, new accounts, getting a debit card. I mean, all of those things you have to be in person. Our machines aren't, we can't send the debit card pen machines through the computer,
Right.
through the tubes.
Yeah.
So there's been some, that's, like I said, we've been open the whole time, but it has been by appointment only in the lobby. But, some of our bigger merchants where it's real cash intensive businesses especially, it takes a long time to process those in the drive-up. So we're now just asking them to call and let us know that they're coming in, and we make sure that we've got people covered in the lobby, tellers open. And so we're still on our, safety measures as far as limiting the amount of people, keeping people 6 feet apart.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side of it, basically we're open and able to help those as much as possible. So it's it's kind of been there's a process. We always say who's on door duty today, and it's a position that kind of it rotates among the tellers, but they also do other jobs, so they're not always right there in front of the door. We ask people just to knock, if there's nobody there, but they ask if the security questions as far as or safety questions as far as if you've had tested positive for COVID and or have any symptoms, and we ask people to wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. It was pretty painless. And so, as you've talked earlier, this is a community bank. And so, as the community is experiencing the COVID and just the major or the minor changes that the community has been going through, what was one of the things during the PPP program that you felt like you were unique in the processing of that loan through the government? And what would you say, knowing very well there's still some funds available, that you've learned during the first initial time, which was difficult,
right,
and now coming into a later time if somebody was looking at the PPP?
Well, it was, someone explained it like trying to fly a airplane while you're still building it. It was very stressful. It was very frustrating at times, extremely long hours, but we're very proud of what we did with our communities. To brag a little, Kittitas County, Chelan County, and Douglas County, with those three counties, Cashmere Valley Bank was the top producer or grantor of loans of all of the banks in those areas. So in our area, in Kittitas County, I know there was 15 banks and this information came out through SBA. There was 15 banks or companies. Some of them were not really banks, but 15 financial institutions that granted PPP loans. 9 of those are just local banks, and we did 30% of the loans. There was like 256 loans, I think, done in the county for the business community members. And our branch did 125 loans in 6 weeks.
I know.
That's about what we do in a year on normal, often about $10 million in loans. And one of the things that I thought was really great, we tracked how many employees were benefited with those loans that we provided, and it was 1,282 employees. And I just thought, that's why we did this. This is what it's about. It's not, we were stressed and frustrated, and there was one night I went home at 11:30 at night and was here at 5 o'clock the next morning just to try to get through that huge glut of of loans, or huge mass of loans, to get those processed before the deadlines. And when they came out with the second round of funding, that eased a lot of stress for everyone, because then we realized, and there was $133 billion still available. They haven't said that they've reopened that yet, but and now we're starting to work on the forgiveness loans. But I think that it was a very rewarding time. As far as stressful as it was, we got so much, so many kudos and appreciation and referrals from customers that we were able to help, and that was just more than worth it as far as the gratitude. And actually, to be honest, we gained a lot of customers, and we had a lot of customer growth from businesses that maybe a husband and wife banked with us personally, but their business was elsewhere, and we did the PPP loans because they weren't able to get them done elsewhere or whatever, and they've moved everything to us. And that's great to see. The work that we do really benefits the customers, and it benefits the bank, really. So that was nice.
Yeah, I would have to say I really appreciated your willingness to, even though you were doing the long hours, you were still accepting phone calls and still returning emails, especially for those leaders or those community leaders that were kind of, what's going on? You know, how do we help with this process? And you were very helpful with that. The Chamber appreciates your membership. That is one of the things that we pride ourselves on, is building community, building business. And so it's just a really good thing for you to be a community owned and operated bank here in Kittitas County. So we're here again with Pam Wilson at Cashmere Valley Bank, a community bank here in Ellensburg, Washington. Thank you for following us, and please check our Facebook for other videos. Thank you for watching Chamber on the Road. We're especially thankful for our supporters: Kelleher Motor Company, Yakima Federal Savings and Loan Association,